2016 Ford Focus with the Ecoboost 1 liter. So this was a timing job issue. They replaced the turbo originally. It was like misfiring, not really misfiring, but it was sputtering and things. Replaced the turbo, and at the same time they're also doing the timing belt. As you already know about this engine, it's a regular belt and it's a wet belt setup, so they did that. You know, this is the first time it's been running since they replaced the turbo, because they couldn't get it to start up when they replaced the turbo the second time. So this is the second turbo that's on here now. But I have that idle now, and I'm looking at the fuel trim, and you see it's subtracting a good amount of fuel, so that's telling me that it's running rich. Now I did take the plugs out for the timing job, obviously, and I seen that the plugs did have some black around the electrode at the top, so that tells me that it's running rich. Now it does have a O2 sensor code for bank 1 sensor 2. That's a pending code right now, so we're gonna see if that is gonna be the issue as to why it's running rich like that. And then when you give it gas, it bogs out. Not bogs out, but it kind of sputters a little bit. So as you see here, I'm going to go over to actually, you can probably see it. You can probably see it right in here. Alright, so maybe we can look at that. And also look at you see fuel pressure. And then we'll also look at turbo wastegate. And we'll look at spark advance. So you see spark is kind of jumping around a little bit. Well, that's probably hunting. You see that little spike right there. So if you see fuel pressure, don't believe we're getting a fuel problem, as we see that line is holding real steady. You can see the intake that's holding steady at idle. If it would have been a problem, if it was jumping around at idle, and then when we give it gas, it holds smooth. So as we see here, you know, we're holding pretty steady. Then we're gonna give it some gas, holding steady, along with the spark advance and fuel pressure. So everything's holding steady here. Alright, this is the first part of the diagnosis of this 2016 Ford Focus with the 1.0 Ecoboost 3-cylinder engine. Alright, so stay tuned.